Have you thought about what comes next after this?
Yeah. Almost, I would say every day, but a lot.
Millions of students graduate universities around the world. And the one thing that is common among them all is the question of what happens next. In the first part of the Big Move series, we talk to undergrads who are about to graduate to understand just how they're handling this next step. The weeks and months leading up to graduation are often filled with questions relating to job hunting, continuing studies, or how to become financially self-sufficient. This is worsened by the incessant questions asked by peers and family about their future plans. We took to asking a group of 4 undergrads the questions that they wish people would stop asking them.
It's the question that Arham always asks me. What's next? I don't fucking know. Stop asking. Let me think.
The question that irritates me the most is like how long you got left, how many more semesters, how many more years. Like, I understand you guys are waiting, but I'm going through the process, and the pressure's already there.
More statement than question. When people are saying, "Oh, you're gonna finish soon," or it's almost over, like it's a certainty. So the closer that I to get to finishing, the more people say, the more it gives me anxiety and frustration.
I think for me, it's what do you plan on doing? Like, what do you want to be? You know, like, what's your future plan? It's because it's not an easy question to answer, you know?
All in all, these views are evidence of students reacting to the upcoming change. For most, it's their first time going out into the world without a predetermined schedule or structure, let alone having to become more responsible when it comes to job hunting and dealing with those uncertainties. The questions about one's future at this point then become more fuel to a fire of an already burning sense of anxiety and fear. This is why stress and anxiety around the subject of future employment and graduating itself continue to top the studies of how students feel in their final university days.
Either do your master's or do employment. Which one would you choose and why?
Or I would, if 100% I knew what I was getting into, I'd choose employment. Because I go into masters, I won't feel like I did is it anything that I've missed out that I have to learn. I feel like I could jump straight into employment, but I will know where my future will take me. So yeah.
I'm not sure. I always think about it, and I think it always depends on like the circumstances. Like in this case, you know how things are this side, like in Zimbabwe, like it's pretty hard to get a job, like generally. So if I was given a chance, like you know how they have graduate trainees, if I was given a chance, I think I would like immediately after school, I would first go do my graduate trainee work, and then from there I can go do my masters. But then if nothing is to come up, then for sure I would go straight into my master's degree.
Whatever the university can teach me, I think there's not much to learn here, and there's much to learn while working in a corporate office or a government office, wherever you can.
So you
Because
value
the learning phase technically never stops, right?
Mhm.
But I think there's enough where the uni teach you, and when it's a moment where you got to start practically and learning from there.
So you value the experience
Yes.
more than the academic.
Academic, yeah.
Masters or employment often means a make or break scenario for most graduates. Furthering academic experience may increase overall starting point salary and benefits when they eventually get a job. A recent study showed that employers are more likely to look at work experience as compared to levels of studies. Why? Well, that's a whole video on its own. But in the short term, each industry is different and requires varying amounts of either work experience or educational experience. So, graduates have to do extra research on how best to enter their respective industries.
You feel like you have an obligation or like shoes to fill for your parents, you know, like they're spending so much money on you. Do you feel like you have to live up to, you know, the education?
Yeah, there is a certain pressure to it. I think especially there for kids who are the elder siblings, I guess, and it's your time in to step in and take the workload off your parents. It's time for them to retire, and it's your time to take responsibility. So I think the pressure is still there, especially if you're the eldest. because there's no one else working currently, or there's one working, or your parents are working, they got to retire soon. So I believe the pressure is there for the elder ones, or the one who's soon to graduate.
I wouldn't say I feel pressure. I feel obligated to, but I don't feel it as an obligation. When I think of it, it feels like something that I just want to do because I've seen what my parents have done for me. I've seen the sacrifices they've made. So when I think of it, it's not, I feel, obviously I want to succeed, and I know if I can't succeed, I can't give back to you. But I don't feel the pressure. I just picture being able to give back to them. And I don't know if it's crazy, but somehow I picture being able to. I've never pictured not being able to.
Like from your first question, how they want to know what you want to do, what you want in your life and stuff like that, and they what you choose, they support, right? Like they're gonna give you their full support, and they're gonna be backing you up and everything, and just thinking about looking back, the time that I've spent at school and during this whole internship thing, everything, the amount of time and money and work they put into supporting me and this, making sure that I had everything I need and stuff like that. So now when I just think about it, it's I can't fail.
But my number one worry right now would be how I can help my mom support my two younger brothers. That's my number one concern.
Giving back to parents is often the main aim for most students, as they feel that they have to make up for the sacrifice their parents have made, not only in terms of academic success, but also in career success. Coupled with the anxiety that builds up towards graduation day, this often makes it worse for students who are either first-generation graduates or have younger siblings. In a nutshell, the obligation to succeed can be said to be one of the strongest motivators for students to either seek employment straight after graduation or proceed with a post-grad degree.
So you keep saying you're feeling anxious, right? So are you anxious about not graduating? Are you anxious about graduating and then not knowing what to expect? What exactly are you anxious about?
So when I feel like I've got too much on my plate, and all these thoughts just keep coming, and you think, okay, I need to do this, I need to do that, I need to be this and that. I take a nap and I wake up and I say, okay. So you just because you don't want to buckle, so you do what you can, you then have to moderate, okay, I'm gonna do this first. If I can finish this, then I can move on, I can make it somehow.
I'm anxious about you. I don't know if that makes sense, but I'm anxious about not graduating. So in the sense that if I don't graduate this semester, I don't know if it's a good or a bad thing, but somehow I have this image that I have as being smart or intelligent or genius. So people look at me and they think it's a foregone conclusion that I'm just going to pass. So then it's being anxiety from that of what if I'm putting pressure on myself to pass. What if I know I'm not doing it for the people, but now it's one of those they think it's a foregone conclusion. What if then I don't graduate?
Right.
Happiness. Then on the side of finishing with anxiety because I don't know exactly. I can't paint a picture of exactly what I'm going to be doing here from now. And that's scary because who knows? And I really like to plan things out, so not be in control of that gives me anxiety.
Right.
A study of over 1,000 students found that anxiety levels are higher in uni students who are graduating than those entering as a result of academic success stress and the fear of what comes next. And with the recent pandemic, most students now have to face the issue of how they can manage to get jobs in an already closed-off economy whilst grappling with the realities of stepping into the unknown. Beyond that, anxiety about the final year results also means that students face a make-or-break situation in one of the decisive moments of their life. This often leaves a sense of hopelessness as to what their futures hold.
Do you feel at this moment that you have acquired a good enough skill set to provide value as a part of the workforce?
Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Sometimes it's maybe just going through school and going through assignments, and right now I'm doing my family project and it's trying to be industry focused, so it's sometimes maybe being stuck on that, and because I'm stuck on that I'm questioning also I can't handle this. It's supposed to be meant to sort of tell us what industry should be like. If I can't handle it, what more when I get into actual industry where it's more pressure because it's bosses on you and it's deadlines and all these things. So sometimes, but at the same time, other times I do feel like I feel like with my field you have to constantly be learning, and I do feel like I am willing to learn.
At this moment, no, not yet. I don't think I have. I have been working, right? And I got to experience different fields and stuff like that. But I still feel like I have so much more I need to learn. So much more I need to be able to do. Because my primary role there when I was in IT, it was mostly IT support. But now when they're doing development, software development, or they're doing networking and infrastructure, I definitely saw that I wasn't near there. I just wasn't there yet. I don't have that skill to say, hey, let me join your team and let me work with you.
I still believe that there are a few skill sets that I need to learn to provide as a useful workforce. There's still a lot for me to learn to enter that phase. But if it comes to getting paid for my work with the skills that I have, then yes, I feel like I can some way apply. I can get paid for the skills that I currently have.
So what exactly pushes soon-to-be graduates to think like this? First off, we have the issues of a vast mismatch between university studies and modern industry practices, with most studies stating that a mismatch between the skills learned in class and those required in industry leads them to take extra courses or certification just to appear more relevant. Evidently, the IT industry is one that has been on the spotlight, with places such as Silicon Valley dishing the idea of using a degree as the main means of assessing one's aptitude. They have started a growing trend.
Where do you just see yourself in the next 5 years?
Oh man, that's a question. Where do I see myself in 5 years?
Yes.
I don't know. It's almost been 5 years since I graduated high school. Will it be like that?
You should probably write it down. That's probably it. But I'd say I tend not to base my goals on ages, if that makes sense. So usually it's like I want to achieve this, I want to achieve that. But I don't put all by this age. So I hardly think about 5 years. But
God willing, I hope that I will be working for one of these big firms, even if it's in this country or outside the country.
In this episode, we talk to students who are about to graduate and ask them about their experiences around graduating and progressing to the next stage in their lives. Next time, we will be talking to you about students who have already graduated and have experienced the transition from university to work or university to postgrad studies and how they have fared with it. Thank you for listening to our first episode. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Ka-ching.